Evening YouTube. Tonight I've got a bit of a mishmash for you going on, and a strange little combination that I'm trying out tonight. And when I put this together, I wasn't sure if these speakers and receiver would get along or not, because I have got a set of Kef Kantar speakers from the 1980s and a Sansui receiver from the early 1970s. So it's Friday night tonight and I'm just having a night in. I can't really go out. I've spent all my money on amplifiers and receivers. So James is round, and as usual he has bought a nice bag of beers with him, and I've cooked us a nice homemade chicken curry. So we're going to have a night in, have a few beers, some curry, and we're going to listen to some music and test out some hi-fi. So let me just go over to the CD player and push play, and in it tonight I've just got an acid jazz CD, because a bit of acid jazz really does sound nice through this Sansui. So let me just turn it on. And I've been listening to this Sansui quite a lot over the last few weeks. I really do like this little Sansui. It is a really good little receiver. And the best thing about it is its bass. It has got lovely bass on this little receiver. That is why I've been playing a lot of acid jazz through it, and I've been playing a lot of reggae through it, because it really does sound good, this Sansui, with them types of music going through it. And for the last week I've been playing around with these Kefs. So I've had them on a couple of my other amplifiers, but tonight I have got them on this Sansui. Because I've only just got these Kef speakers, I bought them and they had a tweeter missing. So I managed to track down a tweeter and I put that in them, and now these Kefs are working really good. And so far tonight I've been getting a really good sound out of these on this Sansui. I think it's because the Kefs have got that big B200 driver in them, and where this Sansui's got lovely bass in it, these two seem to work really well together. And I've been getting a really good sound out of this little combination, which did come as a little bit of a surprise, because when I first put these two together, I wasn't sure if these ones would work together, because this little Sansui is only 15 watts per channel, so it's not very powerful, this little receiver. And these Kef speakers are rated at 50 watts, and they are quite big, these Kefs. So I wasn't sure if these would work together, but the moment I put these two together and started listening to it, I was quite impressed, and I do think this is quite a good combination of receiver and speaker, or it seems to be, because I have not tried it on either of them up there. I've not tried these speakers on that little Rotel or that Pioneer SX434. So I'm looking forward to doing that next week. And you never know, these Kef speakers might even sound better on one of them too. I won't be doing them on that Sony receiver in the middle there, because I've just bought that and I haven't fixed it yet, so it doesn't work. So that vintage Sony receiver is on my ever-growing list of things that need repair. And there is also a little Kenwood to go on my repair list, because I've bought a little non-working Kenwood, but it is not here yet. So like I said, I've never had these speakers on that Rotel or that little Pioneer. The only other amplifiers that I've had these speakers on this week is a Sansui A60 and a Technics SUV2. So I've been running these speakers on both of them and on this Sansui, so I have got a little bit of an idea what these speakers are all about. It's not like I have only had them on this Sansui. So I was listening to stuff with these speakers connected up to that other Sansui and the Technics, and then I thought I'd try them out on this Sansui 310. So when I connected them up to this 310, I wasn't really sure what kind of sound I was going to get, but instantly I was quite impressed by the sound I was getting, because the top end of these Kefs on this Sansui, they really are sounding really detailed and really crystal clear. So I do think this is the best sounding I have ever had, the top end on this Sansui. And the really nice bass. These two together have got a good bass line going on, because this Sansui really does shine in its bass department. It's got really good bass on it, and the bass on it is really smooth. So it really suits that Kef B200 driver. Nice big driver. The nice bass from this Sansui really work well together, and the top end is nice as well. These Kefs have got a nice tweeter in them, so when I'm playing music with like female vocals and all that going on, I'm getting a really nice sound out of these speakers on this Sansui, playing stuff like that as well. So I do think that these Kef speakers and this Sansui have got a little bit of synergy going on. They are like friends, these two, and that was a bit of a surprise, because like I put this together and I thought it might sound all right, because I know these speakers sound good, and I know that little Sansui can make a really nice sound. So you put the two of these together and you should get a really good sound out of them. Well, in theory anyway, but we all know it doesn't work like that. And two nice sounding bits of hi-fi equipment do not always sound good when you put them together. But on this occasion, I was really surprised by how well this one works, and the sound I was getting was really a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Now, I'm not saying it's the greatest sound in the world, and we should all throw our systems away and buy a Sansui 310 and a set of Kef Kantar 2s. I am not saying that. But what I am saying about how good the sound is from this little combo, and the way you have to look at this little combo I've got going on here, is it's not that much money's worth of hi-fi sitting here. These Kef speakers do not make big money. For like a Kef speaker with that B200 driver in it, these are quite cheap. And the same with this Sansui. It is not a high-end, high-price Sansui receiver. This is one of the cheaper vintage Sansui receivers. So you have to look at this little combination like that. There is not much money's worth of gear here, and the sound I am getting out of it for how valuable this lot is really is a good sound for the money. And would you agree with that, James? Because you've been listening to it for a good few hours now. So for like a little low price vintage system, it has got a pretty good sound to it, hasn't it? Yeah, and James agrees. He said it's got a good sound. And it has got a good sound. For what money's worth of stuff is sitting on the table, I really feel like I'm getting good bang for my buck out of this little combination. So earlier tonight, when James first come round, He see what I had set up on the table, and he went, "Oh, what's that like then, the Kefs and the Sansui?" I went, "It sounds better than you think that does. Wait till you hear it." I said, "It's got a really good bit of bass as well." He went, "Oh, it's got nice bass." I went, "Yeah." He went, "Well, put some Prodigy on then. Let's check the bass out." Because James is a bit of a Prodigy fan. So I put on Prodigy Fat of the Land album. And I'll tell you what, it really sounded good. I hadn't listened to anything like that on this, so it was the first time I was hearing something like Prodigy through this Sansui and these Kefs. But I'll tell you what, it really worked well. And considering these speakers are a closed box with no port, we really was getting a load of bass out of them. Now that might be this Sansui helping the Kefs in the bass department, because I do think this Sansui is a little bit bass orientated. It does emphasise the bass a little bit, so it might have been helping these Kefs deliver more bass than they normally would on a different amplifier. So there might have been a little bit of help coming from the Sansui, but that doesn't matter because the sound we was getting was really good. And we had it cranked up a little bit. We wasn't listening to it low. We had it turned up a little bit. We had Prodigy in full effect. And these Kefs and this Sansui really did deliver that Prodigy album well. So well, in fact, that when it finished, I said to James, "What shall we put on now? Shall we have more Prodigy?" And he went, "Yeah." So I just dug out Music for a Jilted Generation, 'cause that is another Prodigy album. But we never had that one, 'cause I was just about to put it into the CD player, and my missus got home from work, and she is really not a fan of Prodigy being played at loud volumes. So we turned the Sansui down and we put Buddy Holly on, because she loves Buddy Holly and she had just got home from work after all. So we had a bit of Buddy Holly, and even that sounded pretty good, because Buddy Holly is quite easy for a system to make sound bad. But on this little combo on the table, even Buddy Holly was sounding pretty good. So then after that, I put in the Doors, LA Woman we had. And the beginning of that track with the guitars, yeah, we had that turned up a little bit, and that was really sounding good through these Kefs on this Sansui. Because I know that's not a difficult track. Most hi-fis will make that track sound good. But I know that track so well. If something is not right in that beginning guitar bit, my ears will pick up on it. And I didn't. That beginning bit of the Doors, LA Woman, was just spot on, all them guitars. So I had to give it to this combo on that one. For how much money's worth of gear is here, it had done a really good job on the Doors, LA Woman. So we had a few more Doors tracks after that. Then we had a bit of Paul Simon playing through it, which again it done really well with. We have had a bit of T-Rex going tonight. We have had some David Bowie and a bit of Sam Cooke, and now we are on to the Acid Jazz CD. And everything that I've played tonight has sounded really good. So I like this little combo here, this little Sansui and these little Kev speakers. They have got a really good sound to them. So if I wasn't such a hi-fi addict and I had nothing else in the house, I'd be quite happy with this little system here. It really is a good little setup. And it really is sounding good on all types of music. It's not just playing like one type of music really well, it's playing everything well. So I'm not sure really tonight what is the star of the show. Is it the speakers making everything sound so good? Is it the Sansui helping the speakers out, or is it just a bit of synergy going on between these two? I don't really know the answer to that yet, because I haven't had these speakers on enough amps and receivers to have really put them through their paces yet. Like I said, I've had them on another Sansui and a Technics. That's all I've run these speakers on. And both of them amplifiers are very different to this Sansui. Both of them are a lot more powerful, and both of them are a lot more expensive to buy. They are kind of in a different league to this little Sansui. And you have also got the fact that because this Sansui is such low power, that might be suiting these Kefs as well. The little low wattage going into them might really be suiting these Kefs. Or it could just be this Sansui's doing it all. Because so far, every set of speakers I've tried on this Sansui, they have sounded pretty good on it. I've not found a set of speakers yet that sound bad on this Sansui. So like the last speakers I'd done with this Sansui was a set of little Sony bookshelf speakers, only small little bookshelves. The Sansui got a really good sound out of them. But then when I done them speakers on the Pioneer SX434, they didn't work on that. I could not get a good sound out of them Sonys on that Pioneer. So we'll have to see how these Kefs get on. So I'll probably do these Kefs next on that Pioneer to see how they get on, because you never know, they might not work on that Pioneer, or they might even sound even better on that Pioneer than they do on this Sansui. So thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.